Hey everybody, haven't done one of these in a while. I got in a car accident back in November, not having to do with recording anything like this or being distracted by my phone, but I was distracted. I was distracted by some Dunkin' Donuts bags were blowing around on the seat beside me, and just a split second, and holy shit. So this is my first Chippa in the third person in my new car, and also the first Chippa of the third person of the coronavirus pandemic, COVID-19. Got my mask right here. I've got a bunch of different masks depending on where I'm going, what I'm doing. Just picking up some stuff on the way back from work. Had to go to the pharmacy and get meds. Working, where to start? I hope all of you are doing well. I know that is not the case for everybody. I know everybody is affected and touched by this in negative ways, one way or another. Everybody out there who has loved ones you don't get to see that are sick and that are dying, this, is dedicated to you, whatever I say today, whatever I do. Jesus, where to fucking start? So work. Me and my wife, Sarah, have two kids. One's 4.5 years old, has an autism spectrum diagnosis, gets services. Since this started, not being in school, she's become deregulated. We're trying to have a school day type of thing for her with the great amount of materials that her school has passed along. Also, they've been doing some class dojo chats with the classes, as well as pre-recorded things to keep the kids going through. And this is just preschool, so it's amazing. Her services outside have continued virtually. That took a little while to kick up. They were gone for a while, but that's become a more regular thing. We've started a lot of Skype chats through the computer and through phones for our kids with family members at kind of set times during the day, or at least to keep them focused. And it's been going well, but we just learned today, this is the 21st of April. I know I'm touching my face. I just put on hand sanitizer. Oh my God. I'll do it again. People freaking out. Sorry. Anywho. Oh God. So this continues. Crazy chaos. I'm going to work 4 hours a day. I work in an essential business. The majority of our 100+ people are working from home. I work from home for a large portion of the day, but I go in to keep physical work flowing to the technicians and people that don't have the ability to work at home. Trying not to let that be a risk to my family, but everything we do is a risk. Going to a store, getting takeout food, but what are we not doing? We're not amassing in public in groups without masks on, pretending this thing is a hoax, like some people. Doesn't matter how overblown or overreacting you think this might be. Is it getting the job done? I hope so. And is this what we should be doing? I think so. See everything going around like the Spanish flu of 1918. What happened? People went back a little too early. Had celebration parades when the thing got to the end, and then they had spikes of the numbers you wouldn't believe. We don't know how to contain something like this. So do what people say. I know that this goes against my rights and all that other stuff. And again, I don't want my rights taken away either, but I also don't want to die. I've seen things going around about people talking about, this is the one that hurts me the most. It shows doctors, and it says I shouldn't have to put my life at risk for our rights. And then it shows a picture of soldiers in like World War II or Vietnam, and it says, oh yeah? Talk to me about that. And it's like, not to diminish either. I don't like those things being used against each other. Someone that signs up for a medical profession, someone that signs up to be a firefighter, someone that signs up to be a police officer, someone that signs up to be in the army, they know the risks that come with what they're doing, right? But that doesn't mean you get to look them in the face and say that you shouldn't still be kept safe to the best we can. In war, you have firepower to keep you safe. You don't just run into frickin' war in regular clothes without flak jackets and without helmets and without countermeasures and people to attempt to win. You were going into war to try not to die. Granted, you give your life for the country. Anyone that's ever given their life for this country is a better person than me and deserves to have the highest amount of accolades for doing that, and for doing that to protect me and to protect my way of life. And so do these doctors. These doctors should be held with the highest level of respect. And if they say, hey, you going out in public, you amassing without a mask on is just making it harder for me to do my job, then you know what? You're wrong for saying that they're wrong for feeling that way. You know, we have a right to protest. Yes, we do. If you think the government is doing something wrong and taking away your rights, you have a right to stand up against that. What you don't have a right to do is to do that illegally. Now, someone would say, well, you know, if I think, you know, I have to be able to stand up and do something illegally. It's like, that's fine. I mean, that's part of protesting. But find a way to do it that doesn't put other people in danger. You're supposed to be preserving a way of life, not create chaos. Not create something we're not going to be able to come back from. Go online, sign petitions, stand with a megaphone, tell people to distance themselves. Don't say show up without masks. Now, if that's someone trolling, I'm sorry. But all of the ignorance of all of this, yes, of course we want the world to turn back on. Yes, of course, in reality, it's not going to be able to pan out as long as statistics and everything say that it should. And yes, for some places where there's less people and less of a chance of exposure, looking at it from that side of the fence, you're going to go, well, why do I have to do this just to protect, you know, the people of Massachusetts or just to protect the people of LA who are more closely combined together? But the problem is any one of you idiots could get on a plane and come here, or get in a car and drive here, okay? And just because you're not sick doesn't mean you might not be carrying it. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. Calling out to liberate states from this pandemic when you are the leadership of a country is horrifying to me. Even if that's how you feel, even if that's the rhetoric that you really want to push forward, if you're standing up as a spokesperson for a nation, you should be trying to do what is best for that nation. I don't get this way mostly on this, but believe me, you know, I get painted as someone that, you know, is too damn nostalgic about stuff. Yes, I'm too damn nostalgic about stuff. I want my movies back. I want my video games back. I want the escapes that I have from this freaking hell world that you people put us all in the freaking middle of by acting this way. Okay? This is what I am trying to escape from, is thinking like this, that I thought we were past. But that thinking now isn't just for me. It isn't to protect my things, because if it was just me, if I was some single asshole that didn't have a family or friends to care about, maybe I'd be narcissistic enough to sit here and go, well, I want the movie theaters back open because I want to go to the movies. Or I want Applebee's back open because I want to go out to eat. Or I want this awesome restaurant open. Or I want to be able to go, you know, see my friends instead of having to do it over Skype and all this stuff. But you know what? I'm not saying that. And if a younger, more obnoxious or ignorant version of me did feel that way and wanted to say it, I'd hope someone would call me out for it. So those of you that are saying that, I am calling you out for it, and not out of hatred. This is not out of hatred. To a family member or a friend who might disagree with what I'm saying here, I want you to know this is not out of hatred. This is out of an attempt to educate the fact that I want to be here for my daughter. I want my grandparents to be here for my daughter and my son. I want their teachers to be here for them. I don't want something that we know is killing people, and we know it is spreading, and we know that we don't have a way to kill it off yet. We don't have a vaccine. Don't get me into fucking vaccines and how the majority or a large portion of you think about vaccines, because I don't want to do that here. But know that, yeah, okay, some of us are inconvenienced. I run a daddy boot camp. I know that fathers, I'm getting emails from them, are going through hellish conditions at hospitals. No fault of the hospital. They're trying their best. But where only they can be in with their wife, or maybe because of quarantining issues or because of what they have to do for work, their wife is giving birth on her own with just a single nurse or a single doctor. And it's just horrifying to me. But we're doing this so that child that's being brought into the world has parents and has doctors and has grandparents and has all these people to be around. All right? Major screw-ups like this, which can't be pinpointed on any one person, mind you, but they can be pinpointed to a group or a way of thinking for allowing it to go this way. Major screw-ups like this, and need to be addressed. And it's not like, oh, we can just sit here and argue for the rest of it about how it didn't get done right, and then the bureaucracy stops us from doing anything. So we have to take drastic friggin' measures. And I probably don't have all of this right. And I'm probably overreacting just a little bit. But I come at this as a dad. I come at this as a dad who also wants a world back someday, which is looking more like it's going to be after the friggin' summertime at this point, at least in my state, Massachusetts. Someday be able to go outside and be around people in a large mass again without the fear of dying or being able to pass something on to someone to kill themselves. And those of you that want to come on here and say it's no different than the flu, yeah, but the flu started off pretty goddamn bad, didn't it? And the flu can be bad for certain people. So this is another thing that we have to come to a realization on, okay? The flu was the thing, the Spanish flu in 1918. This is the thing that we're talking about that just devastated America. This current thing, Corona, in a year from now when there's a vaccine, it's going to be like the flu. It's just going to be around and it's going to be here forever, and we're going to get sick, and yes, people are going to die. It sucks to think of this realization that people are going to die, but it's not going to be the way that it is now. It's not going to be this disconnected, I can't even see my family member anymore once we have vaccines and once we have ways to get rid of it. So be inconvenienced for a few more friggin' months if that's what it takes, for a year if that's what it takes. I'm sorry that I come from an entitled place. I am able to work. I get that. I got my check from the government. No, this check did not come from Donald Trump, those of you who think that it did. This check is our tax money, or just money that we've already put into the government that helped, being given back to stimulate the economy. That's coming back to us to help. I have donated a lot of that money to family members that didn't get one, that aren't able to work, to friends who are doing stuff. I've sent money to people to try to help them. Am I saving some of it for us so we have something to go off of, especially if my job isn't there tomorrow? Yes, we're going to need it to help pay medical bills that we're still in the middle of paying. But is that awesome that the government did that for me? Absolutely. Would I thank someone to their face if they came and told me that they were responsible for that, no matter what I thought of that person? Yes, I would. Okay? I'm serious. That is a good thing that they've done. Do I think they should be doing more? Yeah. But again, this is the many, the few. There's a lot of weird shit going on here, stuff that it's unprecedented that we haven't been stuck with now. And, maybe this is a bit of a rant, but it's really just how I'm feeling. Happy things wise, I hope those of you that are patrons of mine have seen that I've been randomly popping on trying to get group Jackbox games going. I do that with you. Reach out to me if you're listening to this and you're a friend. I'd love to play games late at night sometime. It's hard to do, hard to know when it's going to be, but I'd like to try to do that. I'm recording more shows, trying to create more content. And again, it is to get some cash flow in for the house. I'll admit that flat out, but it's also to give you folks something uplifting to listen to. I know this hasn't been the most uplifting rant that I've done in the world, but it's just how I'm feeling. I don't like being looked at as an overreactor or as someone also that's putting my family in danger because I'm essential. I get it. There is a danger to this. I fear for it. Yeah, if you're angry about the government taking away your rights and you want to complain and you want to protest about it, that's what's great about our country. Do it safe. Jesus Christ, just do it safe. The way it's being done right now is not safe, and I will not stop complaining about that. To those of you listening to this that get offended by what I'm saying, know that, if you're watching this and you're a fan, I still love you guys. I just telling it how I see it. Some ignorant kid from Boston that has a few people that watches what he does. This has been Chippa in the third person. I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye.